Chobani got its start with a loan from the Small Business Administration. What more should the U.S. be doing right now to support its small businesses, which have just been devastated by the pandemic?
I think every effect, and this whether you believe government help or not, long term, everything to keep lights on and these places open or pass through this pandemic. We shouldn't be shy about it, and we should be all for it. The small businesses, not only as small as it is the engine for economy and for society to move forward, but also represents or holds the seed to become tomorrow's large companies or tomorrow's innovators and formers of society. And they are devastated, and they are going through some really, really hard times. We as a consumer, we have to be conscious of that and act towards it. Buy locally, buy online locally, and show up. I mean, when I was home upstate, during Thanksgiving, we went to our local stores, we show up there, every single one of us, we have to do the same thing. And that was always the case, but now is even more. And I think large corporations also, if they are in a good place, should reach out to small businesses and get services and products from the small businesses during this time.
I want to ask you about the TED Talk that you gave about a year ago, in which you called yourself an anti-CEO, sort of a noble leader who puts his employees before anything else. And I'm wondering how your thinking about that idea has changed since then, especially in light of the pandemic.
It just made it very clear, right? The men and women that we work with, that day in and day out, constantly coming in and doing the work every single day. And they are the reason that we exist. And so I give you a little bit of examples, and I don't know if that answers your question. I was blown away during this pandemic that everything has changed. Here I am in my office, but nobody else is here. And we call it completely virtual. And we said there's three things is going to happen. One, we make sure everybody at Chobani is safe. Number two, how can we continue our business so we can continue our journey, but at the same time we can supply food that the people that need. And three, how can we get involved in our community and making sure we play our part, moving the community and society forward. None of them are more important than the others. Those are the three fundamentals. I look back at the year. At Chobani, we broke all the records that we had in the past, even though the conditions are completely different. We innovate more product. We delivered more product. Our attendance in our plants is the sick leaves. We had a lot less sick leaves this year than we had in the previous years, right? Even though you tell everybody, if you don't feel right, don't come to work for the next 2 weeks and you will be getting paid, and of course everybody else the same thing. These are the moments where culture takes over. And culture takes over simply because not moment is critical. Culture takes over because there's a lot of work is being done before the pandemic for years and years and years. And the time comes and you say, oh my God, you basically transform. You basically watch ordinary people, everyone takes over and move things forward. This pandemic showed us that investing in our people, investing in our people's livelihood, in their families, thinking them in the whole picture is not an expense. It is the most fundamental investment you can make for your business, for your commerce, in a good days and a bad days.